agent. Moral agent in summary is any person or collective entity with the capacity to exercise moral agency. It is suggested that rational thought and deliberation are prerequisite skills for any agent. In this way, moral agents can be discerned between right and wrong and be held accountable for the consequences of their actions. Likewise, moral agents have the responsibility to anticipate and avoid causing unjust harm. Children and adults with certain intellectual or psychological disability may have little or no ability to function as moral agents. In extreme cases, situational constraints such as being held hostage can be temporarily prevent adults with full mental capacity from acting as moral agents. That is all about for moral agents.
I'm Cadet Michael Saldivar. My topic for today's is culture and ethics. Culture has its own standard of right or wrong. The different moral because the different cultures have different ways of doing things. Cultures may hold certain values in common cultural difference and still maintain the right criticize beliefs in practices that she thinks are wrong. Ethics Ethics teach us that moral valuation can happen in the level of the personal, societal, both local and global, and in relation to the physical environment. Ethics is clearly concerned with the right way to act in the relation to other human beings in toward self. The challenge of ethics is not the removal of one's culture, because that is what makes one unique. Ethics therefore should neither be reduced to one's own cultural standards, nor should it simplistically dismiss one's unique cultural beliefs and practices. Thank you.
Good day, sir. I'm Cadet Silvano Romel Jr. My topic is all about religion and ethics. So, religion and ethics, many people consider themselves religious, assume that is teaching of their own religions that define the truly right or wrong. There are many religions in the world. The Philippines is predominantly Catholic, yet many other religions continue to flourish. Beyond the difference, however, religions in the essence represents a group ultimate, most fundamental concern regarding their existence. Second must determine was justifying a claim of a particular religious teaching with a commands on what to do, whether in general or is clearly considered with the right to the religion. Ethics is the most removal of the culture because it is what makes our unique. That's all, sir. Thank you.
So this is the continuation of our topic. My assigned topic is all about moral deliberation. Moral deliberation is the process in which everyone concerned by the decision is considered a valid moral agent, obliged to give reasons for their own point of view, and to listen to the reason of others. So, based on my understanding about my topic, which is moral deliberation, it is an act of deliberating or discussing something and deciding carefully. In addition, it is a moral judgment, which is what is right and wrong. For example, we know that a person is, or will be wrong to lie because our adherence to the moral principle that it is always wrong to lie. The moral particularist complains that this intellectual way of reaching a moral conclusion can serve to obscure the potential complexity of the particular case. Deliberation is a process of thoughtfully weighing options, usually prior to voting. Deliberation emphasizes the use of logic and reason as opposed to power struggle, creativity, or dialogue. Group decisions are generally made after deliberation through a vote or consensus of those involved. In moral deliberation, this is the stage where we gather all the relevant information, starting with a consideration of moral principles.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm tasked to report about feelings in moral deliberation. The latter approach, known as moral case deliberation, acknowledges emotions and can promote a better understanding of oneself and give emotional support, like comfort, and enhance resilience. Emotions and feelings have long been derided by purely rationalistic perspective as having no place in a properly executed moral decision. Even though it can derail one from a clear-minded decision, in an ethical situation, it is still not possible that human choice can be purged of all feelings. Aristotle precisely points out that moral virtue goes beyond the mere act of intellectually identifying the right thing to do. He does not say remove all feelings. Instead, he sees that cultivating one's character lies in learning to manage one's feelings. As a particular Filipino saying says, tulak ng bibig, kabig ng dibdib, or in English, the mouth says one thing, but the heart drives you to do another thing. That means what an individual says dictates what one ought to do can sometimes be overcome by what her feelings actually drive her to do. Aristotle sees moral virtue as a matter of habitually managing one's feelings in a rightful manner rather than illusory, purely intellectual acceptance of the good. Doing the right thing for Aristotle is being able to manage one's feelings so that she is actually driven or propelled to do what she already sees intellectually as right. The passions or feelings do not necessarily distract from making an informed moral decision. The morally developed or mature individual or agent therefore must have honed her intellectual capacity to determine the relevant elements in moral situation. The mature moral agent realizes that she is both a product of many forces, elements, and events, of all which shape her situations and options for a decision. She also realizes that she is not merely a puppet of external cause, but instead a meaningful moral decision is one that she makes in full of where she is coming from. And
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, classmates. For my topic, I will tackle about moral problems. In philosophy, ethical dilemmas are also called ethical paradoxes, or moral dilemmas are situations in which an agent stands under two conflicting moral requirements, none of which overrides the other. A close related definition characterizes ethical dilemmas as situations in which every available choice is wrong. Moral dilemmas are situations in which the decision maker must consider two or more values or duties but can only honor one of them. Thus, the individual will violate at least one important moral concern. Regardless of the decision, this chapter draws a distinction between real and false dilemmas. Here are some examples of ethical dilemmas include the following: the truth versus being loyal to a friend, following the laws or rules versus having compassion for an individual's plight, and concerns about an individual person versus the large impact on a community. That's all for my topic. Thank you.
Good day, sir. I am Cadet Jiwartaray. So, I will report my topic all about the value of studying ethical theories or framework. So, first I will discuss the importance of ethical theories of our daily lives. The key is to understand the reasoning that we employ in ethical decision making so we can become more proficient. Ethical frameworks are perspectives useful for reasoning what course of action may provide the most moral outcome. So, the importance of ethical juries in our daily life. There is a framework of ethics underlying our lives on a daily basis, helping us make decisions that create positive impacts and steering us away from unjust outcomes. Ethics guides us make the world a better place through the choices we make. Ethics in business is just as important as ethics in our personal life. So important to the ethics of juries sa ato ang life is kay ma-apply mo na to kung yun sa na to pag imo sa ato ang decision making to provide them and to provide our good values, morals, etc. That's all, sir. Thank you and God bless.
Hello everyone, I am Cadet Remark Trono. I am assigned to present entitled SelfSociety and Environment. So in the realm of the self, as noted earlier, one has to pay attention not just on how one deals with oneself, but also how one interacts with other individuals and personal relations. One may respond to the demand for an ethical, responsible care for the self by making full of use for ethical theories or framework. So John Stuart Mill's utilitarianism through simile and hedonistic theory, it's given emphasis of maximizing pleasure and minimizing pain. It elevates the human element above the animalistic and above the merely selfish. So also Thomas Aquina's natural law theory states at the first natural inclination that innate tendency that all human beings share with all other existing things. Namely, Aristotle's virtue ethics teaches one of the cultivate her own intellect as well as her character to achieve their lifetime. For the Aristotle one's ethical or moral responsibility is herself of one cultivation.
Good day everyone, my topic is all about social life in a Philippine context. Strong emphasis on family, community, and interpersonal relationships with a focus on harmony, close-knit networks, and hospitality. Challenges include economic disparities and modernization. Social life in global village, interconnectedness, and cross-cultural interactions due to technology, fostering global citizenship and virtual communities. Opportunities for activism and awareness, but also challenges like information overload and online issues such as cyberbullying. Mill's utilitarian doctrine provides a moral framework for understanding social life, both local and global context, emphasizing the pursuit of happiness and well-being for individuals and communities. Immanuel Kant's ethical framework emphasizes the importance of moral duties, principles, and respect for the autonomy of individuals in both local and global social contexts. Aristotle's virtuous ethics emphasizes the importance of cultivating virtuous character and promoting well-being and harmonious relationships in both local and global social contexts. That's all from my topic. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Cadet Remark. I am assigned to present and to continue our report entitled of Synthesis, Making Informed Decision. So, making informed decision in the realm of morality entails first understanding who one is in S. In order to account of reason that the one comes up with as the agent whom mag chose in moral situation. So Mr. Reyes explained that oneself is a cross point of many forces and factors that shape one's choices but do not dictate upon them. So the mature moral agent must understand how her society, history, culture, and even religion shape who she is. She must also realize through that her choices in the end cannot simply be mere product of this outside of forces must be made in the spirit of freedom, teaches one of the realization of her own freedom to determine her own moral principles. Free from all conventions, happiness in the process of maturity. An essential element in maturity is the realization that one's choices, even in a real ethics, cannot simply be but in a function of rational truth, but of individual inevitably shaped also by the feelings. Thus, there is the additional responsibility of cultivating one's feelings as well as one's reason. So, the moral agent must be mature enough to evolve, cultivate the necessary steps to ensure a sound, well-informed moral decision. So, when in the aid of the different ethical theories or frameworks discussed in previously chapters, that morality mature agent will be able to appreciate her responsibly toward herself, her society, and her environment. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you, and God bless.